ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This Black Friday, it is time to hit your goals before the new year even starts. At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, get 40% off our next 10-week challenge, plus 6 weeks for free to kickstart your fitness journey. Start training December 1st with kickboxing, strength training, and personalized nutrition. So when our official challenge begins January 10th, you're already ahead of the game. Spots are limited. Don't wait for January to make your resolution. Start strong now. Visit fxbeatlincoln.com or stop by one of our 2 locations at South 40th and Yankee Hill or North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Stronger starts here.
Fight fans, Dynasty Combat Sports returns to the Pinnacle Bank Arena on Friday, November 21st for a massive night of cage fighting action. UFC veteran Derek Minner headlines as he faces Missouri's Jacob Ritchie. In the co-main event, Lincoln's Nate Morrow battles Ashton Caniglia, with Sean Lindgren and Jeremy Small throwing down in the featured pro bout. Local prospects Easton Edmond, Boudin, and Andrew Huffman lead the amateur side. 16 total fights are set for another electric night in the cage. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com or the arena box office. Fight card subject to change.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Back from Tulsa. Lots to talk about. Lots and lots to talk about. I'm sure you have questions, and I greatly appreciate that. We will dive into the weekend and the week ahead. Back from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the Paycom National Invitational, the Duels Invitational, which, eye-opening in every facet. Shout out to Mark Manning and the Huskers for inviting me along, one, to provide information and data, and it's greatly appreciate kind of the behind the scenes to what we do. 402-464-5685. Sartor Heyman text line. If you want to be a part of what we're doing, reach out, hit me up with a WhatsApp, and I'll include you in the show. Tell me what's on your mind. Greatly appreciate that. You can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961. To see what's going on, download the Ticket app. Do it. Bach, if you would please, kind sir. Pay the bills.
Yeah, today's show is sponsored by Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest quality technology and communication services since 1901. Whether it's residential or business, Hamilton has the answers. Visit HamiltonTel.com for more info today.
Thank you, kind sir. Bach, how was your weekend before I get into the nuts and bolts of a crazy hour?
Well, not too bad. I definitely enjoyed some Nebraska basketball, absolutely on fire in Fuego from Beyond the Arc. So that was kind of fun. The bye week for Nebraska, Nebraska football allowed me to sit back and watch some other games. So it was fun. Got some stuff done around the house as well. So I can never complain about that.
There we go. It was good. I did multitask. It took some multitasking this weekend. 16 teams in dual form. So 4 matches going on at the same time at 2-hour intervals. So imagine each day you're going to see all 16 teams twice. Twice. Bach, it's a lot of wrestling.
Oh yeah.
It has a lot of humans, a lot of human beings. A lot of, as it was identified, this a lot of scrapping going on. A lot of scrapping, Bach. And insight. I say all the time, I'm all for consuming data. Like, give me all the data. This was a data dump. This was seeing what the preparation was, seeing what the result was, seeing what the interactions were, seeing all of the psychology, all the relationships, all of the friction, right? That can I tell you, can I say that I don't know how wrestlers do it? And I want to say that a lesson learned in collegiate wrestling has the highest consequence of any sport, maybe including gymnastics, maybe. Football, like, you can make a mistake and get away with it. You know, there's 10 people, other people out there who could fill in and maybe cover for you. But the physicality and violence of it. But in wrestling, you make a mistake in wrestling, and I mean a minimal mistake in wrestling. The punishment is immediate, swift, and violent. And the psychology of putting yourself out there at its barest, right? The only way it could be more bare is for them to wrestle naked. Right? And then you're measuring yourself all the time. You're measuring your weight, you're measuring size of opponent, size of self, all those things. And then the psychology of maneuvering and high repetition of movement. It is fascinating that the weight loss factor certainly plays into it. And text line, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. But this is just the space, my mental space my brain is in right now. That to cut weight and then fight. We talk about it with Anthony Smith and UFC. And we've talked about it with Ridge Lovett and Caleb and Mark Manning. And I don't know how it's done. And yeah, there's a science to it. And being able to manage and control all of your nourishment, all of your hungers, right? All of those things. And then to go fight. And then immediately after the fight, depending on the result, the reaction is still the same. You've got to get back to losing weight again. Like, you've got to process some weight, even if you just wrestled, a match of all matches. You've got to get back onto the next thing, right? You've got to burn off galactic acid. You got to, there's also, you got to stretch again. You've got to prepare yourself. You've got to put that thing down, consume the data you just learned. But then go and in tournament form, at least in this form, you're 6 hours later. But the recovery, and oh, by the way, you were just in a full-on high-level fight. So, Bob, you're beat up. You were in a fight in close proximity. Like, you weren't throwing rocks from the other side of the street. You were in the closet, throwing hands and taking blows. And so, and then to come back and fight. Now, mind you, here's what we learned about this tournament, about this invitational. 16 teams, and this is 16 of the top 20. There's some programs that chose not to make this tournament, and because of that, I can understand why you would go and why you wouldn't go. Both make sense. If you're Penn State, if the end mission is winning a national title, Big Ten title, national title, they don't particularly care about this event. Like, their process is set. They know, right? They know what it takes to do this. Everybody else is trying to figure it out. So you go and you compete, and you applaud the people who choose to compete at a high level, because this is not, you're not wrestling against the worst in the country. You're wrestling the best in the country. Nebraska's first opponent was a top 15 opponent. And then you get into the individual rankings and the matchups and that sort of thing. But I don't know how they do it. 7 hours on a bus, 7 hours from Lincoln to Tulsa. And yeah, it's not a public school bus. I mean, you've got, water and healthy snacks, but 7 hours on a bus is not ideal for the body or the mind. But you make it work. I found it fascinating that after that tournament, those kids had to get on a bus and ride 7 hours back from Tulsa to Lincoln, get back at 11:30-ish, get home, unwind, ice packs, massages, stretching, whatever it is. Oh, by the way, you got class tomorrow morning and a practice. You can call off the practice, but, depending on the results, not sure you want to do that. Come in for treatment or whatever you decide you're going to do. And Barney says this. He says, when you do it your whole life, it's just another day in the office. Yeah. 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 Aliens. Combat aliens. We were having this conversation in the arena, and I'm looking at the armies of 20, right? And Bach, that's what it was. Like, each group. These are, and the parents of wrestlers are also wrestlers. The parents of wrestlers are also wrestlers. Because you have to live the life too, right? And so, you would imagine a place with 10,000 people. Well, 10,000 of those, I would imagine that 6,000 are wrestlers. Combat ready. And somebody said, yeah, if the aliens show up here, they got a battle on their hands. And I was like, yeah, I'm not quite sure, aside from UFC fighters, who else I would rather have in a battle. What athletes, right? Would you rather have than wrestlers? Like, the aliens come in and says, take me to your most badass. Oh, yeah, they're in the wrestling gym. Go, bro, go ahead, help yourself. Go on over there and go mess with them dudes. Bach, it's the greatest collection and assortment of 45 to 60-year-old former wrestlers who are just waiting for a scrap to break out. And they walk around like they're waiting for the scrap to break out. Like, we stopped on the way back to get something for the young people, and we're in this hamburger place, and there are people who watch them walk in and go, oh man, this is an army. And this guy walks in, pretty big dude, right? And he goes, oh yeah, the Cauliflower Men's Club, Cauliflower Era Men's Club. These are my people. Like, they identified. He just goes, nothing will go wrong here. Bach, I don't know how it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating if I asked you to go out and just play in a recreation basketball tournament, but you had to lose 8 pounds to do it. And then you had to stay at 8 pounds under the whole duration of the weekend. But you still got to play like 8 games. How would you do?
Definitely throw off your plans.
Right? Like it's, oh, and by the way, it's physical basketball, so they get to punch you in the ribs.
That's gonna throw me out. I just defend between the 3-point arc and shoot my threes. That might not work in this case.
No, wrestling does not have a 3-point line, sir. They do not have a 3-point. You cannot go key to key in collegiate wrestling. Nebraska found out some things about itself, and it was interesting. Hey Dog asked the question, how good is Ohio State? Yesterday morning before the semifinals, I recorded just a little preview, right? There from the mats. And I said, after day one, it was crazy. But I also thought of the 4 teams, the seedings were Iowa, Nebraska, Ohio State, Oklahoma State. And Nebraska fans know their relationship with Iowa in any sport. We know the proximity, we know the success level, we know the friction level, we know it. But as they're talking about it, that Bach, looking over the shoulder, is going, well, there's Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State's going to battle Iowa on the mat next to Nebraska and Ohio State. Now, you look back at Nebraska, Ohio State last year, and it was Nebraska success. Copy success, right? Nope. No. Because watching them for the 2 matches Friday, I said Ohio State was the best wrestling team in the gym, or had the best day Friday. And I didn't know what the results would be. Saturday. I didn't know what the results would be yesterday, but I said, I don't know about anybody else, but the best group I saw yesterday was Ohio State. And I start to look at the matchups and I went, oh, because matchups make the duels. And I'm going, there's some friction here. There's some friction here. And it went kind of like I thought it would go, having watched what I watched. Now, to say that anybody would expect the results that followed, no. Even Ohio State will tell you they were surprised. And I can tell you, watching from alongside the mat, that Ohio State was surprised at some of the results, as was Nebraska. Like, both teams are like, hey, what is going on? But then things change, because the ultimate plan is that you wrestle at 10 a.m. against Ohio State, and that you win, and then you have until 6 o'clock to face the winner of Iowa and Oklahoma State. Except, caveat, if you don't beat Ohio State, you have to wrestle the loser of Iowa, Oklahoma State immediately following your loss to Ohio State. And all the things. And Bach, there were injuries being dealt with, and injuries being dealt with that happened Saturday. It was a tough bounce back, but whoever you were going to wrestle was going to be bouncing back. So it was either going to be Ohio State. It was either going to be Iowa or Oklahoma State. And Iowa beats Oklahoma State 18-16. Just an absolute brawl. Absolute brawl. But I'm looking at Oklahoma State and Bach. Again, you start to do the matchups. And I'm going, oh no. Oh no. This isn't going to go well. So whatever you get from it, you're trying to get from it. So get your wins. Except they're right in black and white in the notes, in the media notes. Bach, if I asked you how many times Nebraska has wrestled against Oklahoma State, what would you say the number is? Any guesses?
Well, former Big 12 opponent.
Right.
So I would figure a lot.
Give me a number.
I don't even know historically where to put that at.
60.
Sure.
60. 60 matches. Of those 60, how many of those do you think Nebraska's won?
Oklahoma State's like the program in wrestling. So 20?
Bach, imagine my shock and horror when I looked down at the media notes and going into yesterday, Oklahoma State was 54-4-2 against Nebraska. 54-4-2. And Bach, my jaw, like I'm just out of respect for all the work that these guys put in, I'm still fully emotionally invested. But Bach, let me tell you, because you're trying to understand some of the cowboy swagger, right? I'm like, now it's also a home meet for Oklahoma State. Now, after you just took the beating of the year from Ohio State, it's now a home meet against Oklahoma State. And Bach, let me tell you, bruh, I felt like Jenny yelling at Forrest. Because they scrapped. Now, mind you, the Huskers give full credit for a gang that just fought, like just battled. But you had some number 2 guys going against some dudes. You had some freshmen going against some dudes. And the veterans just didn't get it done. Shout out to AJ Ferrari, who finished his third match. He should have never. Just my personal opinion. He got concussed in the middle of the third bout of the tournament, and he decided, warrior spirit, fight through. Loses that one, comes back, faces the number 8, loses to the number 4, beats number 4, loses number 8, and beats another top 10. Oklahoma State. I don't know how they do it. And I I'm 63 years old, so I think about things differently now. But back in the day, in my head, warrior spirit, but no, sir. Magic says this. Moms wrestle is harder than their children. These wrestling moms are a different breed. They're a different breed. If you're a wrestling mom and you're out there listening, bravo to you. Because you're watching your kids fight all the time. And you have to manage them. Like you have to manage what goes in their body. You have to manage the injuries. You have to manage, and the dads are barking, right? They provide the bark, but moms provide the bite. And to watch the support that happens at these events. But we'll go to break with this, and I'll get to Husker basketball, I'll get to Husker football because it's Penn State week. And it's a long week, so we got plenty of opportunity to cover everything that needs to be covered. But let me say this. AJ Ferrari is a rock star in this thing. I don't know what I expected. Wasn't this. That dude needs security. He needs security. The number of young people that want pictures and autographs and all those things, and the number, and then you realize that this is the thing. So again, you're at Oklahoma State, you're at Tulsa, and And I know it's not Stillwater. Okay, it's not Stillwater. I get it. But that was a home meet. Bach, let me say this to the grown-ups, and this is to the grown-ups in the room. First of all, the kids don't have a boundary at these events, and I'm not sure they really should. Right? Let kids be kids. So they are approaching their heroes, asking for autographs and pictures, and they don't care when it is. It could be right before a match, right after a match. Hey, you just got concussed. Hey, Mr. Ferrari, can I have an autograph? Can I have a picture? And it was handled with class and dignity and respect. And he had a plan. And the kids were better for it, and their events were better for it. Their memory and their exposure to Brock Hardy and Antrell Taylor and Christopher Mento and AJ Ferrari, it landed the way it should. Ambassadors for the sport, like college wrestling popularity on the upswing. That being said, also parents, manage your young people and manage yourself, because these are the folks. Now, AJ Ferrari, think Ric Flair in the day. That AJ Ferrari is both hero. He is either the ultimate hero or the ultimate villain to everybody in the room. Right? And the thirds were in play. A third of the people that were going to cheer for AJ no matter what. A third were going to boo him no matter what. And a third was just going to be reactive to situation, circumstance. But from the third that booed AJ Ferrari and Bach, there were a lot of people wearing Oklahoma State orange who were saying things about a college student athlete that, first of all, they wouldn't have said to his face, and second, they shouldn't have ever said in public. And then here's the kicker, Bach. Here's the thing. Bach, those were the same people who, as soon as the match ended, took off their Oklahoma State colored hoodies and sent their kids to get AJ Ferrari to take pictures and sign autographs that they were going to put on eBay. And I called it out. And I felt bad because it might not have been my place. But I can't call Bach every name in the book, that whatever word salad I put together, and then ask, as soon as we're done, smile at Bach and, hey Bach, can you sign something for my son? Can you sign an autograph? Oh, I'm a hero now. 9 minutes ago, I was the worst human being. And Bach, it was a third of a section, all Oklahoma State fans, who literally had chewed out AJ the entire, before the match, in between the matches, after the match. And then as soon as it was over, man, I'm looking at them in real time. Take the Oklahoma State hoodies off and go up there and try to get stuff signed that they would profit from. And if you are those people, do better. We'll be back.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and it's that time of the year again. Time for the annual Happy Honda Days at Honda of Lincoln. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, to tell us all about it.
The exciting news is we have more selection and more savings. We have over 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from, with a great opportunity to get year-end savings on every remaining new 2025.
Do you have some Happy Honda Days specials?
Sure do, Charlie. For example, you can lease a new 2025 Accord Sport Hybrid for just $349 a month, and we have financing from just 0% APR. We've also included over 125 pre-owned of all makes and models, And as always, our certified pre-owns are in this sale as well.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173. Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show. Sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krikak of State Farm Insurance.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. 93.7 The Ticket Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Yeah. Texas just sounds like some down south type behavior. Down south rather than southern. There's a difference. Bill and Bennett say he's a modern day Brian Bosworth. Yeah. I just don't think I just don't think he should have to be. Think about that. He was wrong. So if he consumes all of that, he's wrong. Right? Because he should be there for wrestling. Right? And he should be able to focus on wrestling. Athletes should be able to focus on their priority when they're there. But we also know nothing moves the public needle like an athlete's reaction to a child coming up at an inappropriate time asking for an autograph or a picture. Because if he just says, I can't do it right now because, I don't know, there's a 285-pound man over there preparing to stomp my head in. Or, hey, quite frankly, I'm concussed and my brain's really not clicking on all cylinders, right? Or, hey, I just broke my wrist, my signing wrist, right? If you're a wrestler, or there's a bunch of things. Kudos to especially Nebraska wrestlers. They're spectacular about setting the process, setting the boundary. Manning has done a great job of teaching them when to engage, when not to engage, et cetera. And then afterwards, then it becomes a matter of management because there's time management, there's emotional management. You've got to get on, you're on a bus schedule. Now, of course, ESPN was there yesterday. So, of course, they want interviews. Then the Paycom people want interviews. The tournament sponsor, the tournament organizers want interviews. And, Manning's got a job to do. He's got a job to do, right? So he's trying to manage that, right? And he's trying to manage his kids. Now, mind you, 10 are wrestling. There's another 4 that are injured or going through some sort of protocol, right? And you're still managing that. And then you've got to figure out, okay, how do you wrangle, they say wrangling kittens. But I was sitting, so Saturday I was on the floor on the team, like in the team chairs. And then I recognized that Sunday I'd probably have a better vantage if I sat in the front row behind the team bench. I had a better vantage. And then literally it's as close like me in this chair. That's the difference. But in that row, the number of times in the course of a 10 match meet that kids crawled across to get autographs of people who were actually just recovering or just wrestled or otherwise. And what do you say to that? Like, yeah, okay. And I'm used to it. So I'm like, okay. But then I become the doorman. I become the bouncer, right? Like, do you think he'll sign an autograph? I would wait until after the meet's over. That's what I would do. I can't suggest you that. I said, but because if you're going to approach somebody if you're approaching somebody now, I don't want to speak for him, but I can also say, he just got in a fight. That might not be the best time. Let him cool down. Let him calm down. But where the parents to tell them, hey, if you're going to go to this event, hey, how about teaching them the rules of engagement or some rules of engagement? Don't just let your kids run wild and get themselves embarrassed or put themselves in tough situations. But that's just me. That's just me. Right? Like you're at WWE and Bach, you're sitting in the front row. And the kids don't care. They're going to run across Bach to get access to John Cena. And you're okay with it for the first 30 kids. Whatever your number is, right? Because at some point, you just want to watch the match. Like, you just want to be there. And there's a line. Sir, get your kids. Right? Like, Bach, there is the line, right?
So are they pretty much, are they signing autographs this whole time?
Well, they're doing as best as they can. It's what they want, because you want people to want your autograph. You want people to want pictures. In this day of NIL and exposure matters, and if somebody thinks enough of you to request the autograph. There was a woman from Oklahoma State. Her son, she has a sick son, and a part of his Christmas package, he was a wrestling fan, and she was trying to get signed shirts from all the, as many teams as possible to put under his Christmas tree. And I'm just standing there, and she asked, "Excuse me, if you have a second, I have a question for you." And she asked me a question about, well, how would giving them a shirt now be the right way to do it? I said, well, I'm just going to give you a suggestion. If you want it signed, what I would do is I would send it to the wrestling. I would mail it to them with a return envelope with a Sharpie and put the shirt in there and say, "Hey, can you please sign and ship back, and write a letter with what you just told me and put it in there." And I said, at some point, I would imagine that either operations or Mark Manning gets this and will facilitate or not. But at least that's the way I would go about it. She was like, "Very thanks." She's like, "Well, thank you. That makes all the sense in the world." That makes sense, to be courteous and considerate. Be curious about what the process is, but just to rant, just to go nuts and just, they're climbing across people. They're stepping on chairs. They're stepping roll to row. And you just want to go, where are your parents? Who brought you here? Is it my job to parent your kids? Am I babysitting that day? Like, I'm there minding my business, and then I go, okay, I just want to announce to everybody, do your thing. I'd like to watch the matches, though. Like, if you want to, in baseball, they tell you, don't go standing in the middle of an inning. Wait until in between innings. Right? They'll tell you, be considerate, be courteous. What we need to do an entire show on stadium courtesy. Like, when to yell, when to boo. Right? Like, how much is too much? How much alcohol is too much?
You learn it pretty quick at the Icebox. They'll let you know if you're walking around the place going on.
Right? Right? But and they're not wrong, and you're not wrong for enjoying yourself, but when we share space, there has to be consideration. There has to be simple consideration for the other people there. Right? Right? No, it is not it is not, Eric. It's not a hero. I tell you what, it was pretty cool to watch how they handled it naturally, organically, how they were handling it. Husker fans can be proud of their boys, because they were, and again, there's great leadership in the room with Trelly, Mento. They were making friends in the burger place that we stopped at, in the hotel, in the team hotel. There were a bunch of things. Kupska says this, "What's up, DP? I imagine that the lady didn't know she was talking to someone who can inform Mr. Manning of said incoming package if she actually sends it." Yeah, I mean, I think she kind of got the impression because I had a lanyard, so I think she kind of knew. I mean, I was with the team, so she kind of caught me to the side, and that was the point. Like, I have no problem with people asking me questions. I'm just there. Like, I'm just there. It's when you don't ask and you just do stuff just to do just it's a bit much. That's all. And I have the patience. I have way more patience than I should. Because I'm used to being around a lot of kids. Like the coach and me, I understand. But I also, I'm the fun uncle, but I'm also the uncle that resets the young people. It's like, we're gonna have a great time, but here's some stuff we ain't gonna do. Like, you can send your son over to Uncle DP's. He gonna have the time of his life. But guess what? You gonna get him back different, because there's some things that you allow him to do that I'm not gonna allow him to do. And he's gonna come back and go, Dad, did you know I can't put my feet on the couch? Yeah, how about that? You find a home. That's your daddy's couch. And I'm that way with puppies too. If you give me puppies, I will train your puppy for you in the weekend. You will get back a different puppy than the one you dropped off at Uncle DP's house. So all rules in play. We'll close it out when we come back and get you all set up for Adam Carricker.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Need an adventure? How about the bright lights of Vegas? The magic of Orlando? Or the sunshine of Orange County? Now you can reach them all with new flights from LNK on Breeze Airways. Stretch out, relax, and enjoy the flight. Your vacation starts the moment you board at LNK. Book today at LincolnAirport.com. LNK. Make flying easy.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm, safe, and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
This Black Friday, it is time to hit your goals before the new year even starts. At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, get 40% off our next 10-week challenge, plus 6 weeks for free to kickstart your fitness journey. Start training December 1st with kickboxing, strength training, and personalized nutrition. So when our official challenge begins January 10th, you're already ahead of the game. Spots are limited. Don't wait for January to make your resolution. Start strong now. Visit fxbeatlincoln.com or stop by one of our 2 locations at South 40th and Yankee Hill or North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Stronger starts here.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There are some commercials. Bach will come up with a gym. One of these days, we're going to have that conversation live. We're just going to have that conversation. I will forewarn you. It is a big, and it is not going to go wrong. Nobody wants to have. It's the conversation we need, but nobody wants to have. Interesting times. Again, a big week as the Huskers travel to Penn State. 9.5 was that the point spread I saw?
Yeah,
9.5. And other than the intrigue of what the Matrix knows that we don't know, right? Because the odds makers generally get it right. So if you say the over-under is 45-ish, 44.5, that 9.5, then the quick math says they're expecting a 28 or 27-17 Penn State win. Like covering the over-under, point differential. Bob, what say you to that?
I was surprised at where it was. Very surprised. And it makes it a very interesting game because I think Nebraska fans are going to view this as pretty much a must-win for the program to move forward. Penn State's in a tough spot. Tickets are $7 to get in, by the way. I don't think it's going to be the craziest of atmospheres. But then you walk away from it. If you lose that game, you could have people say, well, they're 2-possession underdogs.
I mean, because in likelihood, if they 27-17, we're not out of the, that's not out of the realm of, but I would ask the question, wasn't that more likely the opposite? I almost would have been less surprised if Nebraska was a 9.5 point favorite.
Oh yeah.
Right? But the Matrix knows something, right? And so they came out with the most recent bowl projections. And the bowl projections will tell you not only where you are, it's a great GPS. It tells you where you are, right? How you got here. And then what they think is going to happen along the way. So that everybody knows that all these projectors know that Nebraska, where they currently stand, and then they have games remaining against Penn State and Iowa. Right? Now, Bach, I would tell you if Iowa was a 9.5 point favorite against Nebraska, I'd be pissed. I'd be offended. But I also couldn't be surprised. Based on this, I cannot be surprised at what the point spread is going to be. Regardless of what happens at Penn State, there's nothing that can happen at Penn State, right? Other than Penn State beating Nebraska by 9.5, by 10. That would make me feel like, yeah, okay, Iowa 10-point favorite. There's no except. I want to throw hands. I would punch ghosts. But based on the projections have put in place that, and again, you can have the ESPN poll, the CBS poll, the On3 poll, whatever you want to do. But they've kind of landed Nebraska in two places. One puts them at the Vegas Bowl. My eyebrows raised because at that Vegas Bowl, said opponent in the projection is Utah. Harrison gives me grief every night during late nights about the possibility of Nebraska and Utah playing each other in the bowl game. In Vegas, no less. Not sure how I would, but that says the thing, right? Because you would think that requires that you win one of the two for the Vegas Bowl, right? I'm not out of my head.
Yeah, I mean, at least as far as kind of thinking, Utah's not going to face a 7-5 team. I wouldn't think in the bowl game,
right?
Like number 13 or something, right? Right. So you expect them, which goes against the odds makers, right? Athlon has the Huskers in Tampa in the ReliaQuest Bowl facing Tennessee, which also would kind of suggest that they expect Nebraska to win a game of the next two. Maybe even win both. Because if they win both, they're going to Music City Bowl. I think that's how that would work. But Bach, what say you? It's I just find it all intriguing. Bowl game aside, I'll be completely honest. I like the destination. I like the fun of it. I don't know if Emmett Johnson will play in it. That sort of stuff. I don't know what it's going to look like. So
you don't want to play somebody good?
Well, it's more about Iowa and Penn State to me than the bowl game. Unfortunately, I've long defended bowl games. I can't do it anymore. They just don't mean nearly as much as they used to. Sorry.
But don't you want that? Don't you want the best bowl possible?
Oh yeah, you still do.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be an indication of if Nebraska's 9-3 and heading to a bowl game for a chance to go 10-3, they haven't done that since 2003. So, win percentage wise. So there's
Which
still a lot
third
to
are
play
you
for.
in? Which third are you in? 0-2, 1-1, 2-0.
Probably 1-1, which is definitely sitting on the fence.
Right? Like I just like the thirds rule. But good to know. Appreciate you. Thank y'all for hanging out. Adam Carricker will pick up the microphone and carry you through to 1 o'clock, and then back in the black shirt. Old school, and then a full Monday, all the way up to midnight here on the Ticket.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or